Hi there, my name is Dennis Langel, and I'm presenting on the institutional framework for forest governance in Ghana. My presentation will be in two parts. The first part deals with the institutions in forest governance, and the second part deals with dispute resolution mechanisms in forest governance. We start with institutions in forest governance, and at the apex of these institutions is the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. It is a sector ministry responsible for formulating natural resource policies. The ministry oversees coordinations and monitoring of policies in the sector. The ministry also ensures that forest governance aligns with national and international goals, and also ensures that forest governance is in compliance with national and international laws. The ministry has oversight responsibility of the Forestry Commission. Next on the bill is the Forestry Commission. Unlike the ministry, the Forestry Commission is actually an agency under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. The Forestry Commission is responsible for implementing forest and wildlife policies formulated by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. The Forestry Commission also plans and manages forest and wildlife resources. The Forestry Commission also monitors the conditions and extent of forest and wildlife resources within the Ghanaian jurisdiction. The Forestry Commission controls harvesting and expands forest covers and wildlife products. The Forestry Commission is also responsible for the grants of timber rights and wildlife licenses in Ghana. Within the Forestry Commission, there are 5 main divisions, and all these divisions contribute their quota to forest governance in Ghana. The first division is the Forest Service Division. This division mainly manages forest reserves and off-reserves areas. The second division is the Wildlife Division. The Wildlife Division oversees wildlife resources and protected areas. The third division is the Timber Industrial Development Division. Now, this division regulates timber trade within the country. That is, they are in charge of the imports, exports, and the processing of timber. The next division is the Forest Management Support Center. As the name implies, it is a support center and is responsible for development, facilitation, implementation, and monitoring of effective and affordable forest management systems in Ghana. Last but not the least is the Forestry Commission Training Center. As the name implies, it is a training institution that offers high-quality technical training and appropriate technological transfer services in all aspects of downstream wood processing. Basically, what this particular department does is that they build capacity of stakeholders in forest governance in Ghana. The next institution is the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Just like the Forestry Commission, the EPA is an agency under the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology. The EPA is responsible for implementing environmental policies within the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology. The EPA is also responsible for regulating the environmental aspects of forest activities. These include granting environmental permits and enforcing environmental impact assessments, EIA. The EPA also promotes environmental sustainability in forest management. That is, the EPA is responsible for anything environmental with regards to forest governance in Ghana. The next institution is the Water Resource Commission, WRC. The main role of the Water Resource Commission is to ensure that forest activities do not negatively impact water bodies. That is, they are also responsible for granting water use permits. They also regulate and manage the use of water resources to ensure sustainability. At the core of its mandate is sustainable development and to ensure that water use is sustainable for future generations. Moving on, we have grievance mechanism and dispute resolution in the forest sector. Disputes that arise in the forestry sector can be resolved just as in any other sector by the traditional dispute resolution mechanisms. That is by instituting legal proceedings in court or by instituting alternative dispute resolution proceedings in the form of negotiations, mediations, and arbitrations. There are other forms of administrative methods of resolving disputes within the forestry sector. We have involving the community and traditional leaders to help resolve disputes, or adhering to FC compliance structures at district, regional, and headquarters levels. Thank you for your attention.